New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh-looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula One. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Alexander Albon, and Vettel, Perez, Norris, Ricciardo, and Kevin Magnussen, Sainz, Raikkonen, Nico Hülkenberg, and Butler, James, Weber, Romain Grosjean, and Daniel Kvyat. Stroll and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
We managed to qualify better than we expected yesterday, so let's do the same again today. Okay, how was the pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. Excellent job yesterday. We qualified above expectations. Let's go out there and put in a performance. the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can. Expected. No rain expected for the time being. With the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. A new strategy is available on the MFD. P17 now, we have P17. 6 laps until your pit window is open, 15 laps still remaining. Ahead, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Weber is behind you. Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh softs. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps, 14 laps to go. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Okay, clear. Copy that. You have 11th place. Magnussen ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.4 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Butler behind. Our gap behind is 4.1 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place is 11.4 seconds. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps, 14 laps to go. Some information on Butler. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow. Magnussen is ahead of you. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 37.7. You're dropping back by around 1.4 seconds. P11, we're currently P11. Magnussen ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 5.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Weber behind. The gap to the car behind is 1.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Okay, gap to leader, 18.0 seconds. Pit window will open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. 12 laps to go. Here's who we're really fighting today, Hulkenberg and Kubica. Update on the car for you. Tyres are looking very nice. Shouldn't have to worry about the wear too much right now. Sainz is ahead of you. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 4 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:37.6. We're dropping back by around 4/10 a lap. You have 11th place. Magnussen is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 6.5 seconds. They're on old softs. Weber is behind you. The gap behind us is 1.4 seconds. They're on old softs. The distance to the leader is 21.0 seconds. Magnussen ahead. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:38.4. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Magnussen is ahead of you. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:38.6. You're gaining by 8 tenths. 8 tenths. P11, we're currently P11. Weber is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 1.0 seconds. They're on old softs. Hulkenberg is behind you. They're on old softs. The gap to the leader is 28.9 seconds. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open. 8 laps to go. position back. That was an illegal overtake. Seeing some signs of abrasion on your tyres now. They should still be good to run on, but they won't be at their best. Robert is coming in for a stop. Green flag. Sim data, we expect you're going to start feeling the effect of tyre wear around about now. Let us know if it gets too bad. Lap times are falling off. We want you to pit in for repairs. Box, box, box. Go now. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Position. You're in 14th position. Hulkenberg is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 5.4 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Robert is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 6 laps to go. Gap ahead is 2.5 seconds. Hulkenberg ahead, they're on fresh hards. seconds. Their tyres are 1 lap old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 45.6. Raikkonen ahead, they're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1:38.0. You're putting a good distance between yourself and the car behind. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Sat in P12, Weber ahead. Gap to car in front is 7.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Raikkonen behind, they're on fresh mediums. Our gap to first place is 43.2 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. 4 laps remaining. Magnussen ahead, they're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 39.4. Position. Verstappen is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 5.1 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Sainz behind. They're on fresh hards. Okay, gap to leader 39.4 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Just 3 laps to go now. 3 laps. Behind. Our gap behind is 2.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:38.8. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. you have some front wing damage, but not enough to justify a stop in the remaining laps. Verstappen ahead, they're on fresh hards. The time last lap was a 1 minute 38.3. Is damaged. Expect a lot of understeer unless we replace it. This is your final lap of the race. Great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs. And that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I think it's got to be Lucas Weber. Time and time again, he proves that he's someone who can quietly get the job done, and that's exactly what he's done today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes move to the top of the table. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? That was a good race for Lucas. Are you pleased to see him doing well? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip or did you just misjudge some corners? Appreciate your time.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up. You're not the only driver to be hounded by the press. Emails, like the one I've just sent you, will give you an insight on how your former Formula 2 rivals are handling the press. Be sure to check your emails regularly, as I'll be sure to send you any of the more, let's say, interesting press transcripts that come my way. Looks like one of your rivals has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation.
Here we are then, the calm before the storm, as we wait for this field of iconic cars to burst into life for the historic invitational event today. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to be here and welcome along to all of you at home as well. So grab a cup of tea and get ready as our competitors make their final preparations.
Kev. I need you to stop cutting the corners. If you keep it up, the stewards will award you a penalty.
Practice sessions are vital for the continuing development of the car, but if you need to, you can choose to simulate the session instead. It won't be as effective as having you behind the wheel directly, but it's better than missing the session entirely.
If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.